next song about anything at all.
Welcome, any and all, to Dreaming in Paradox. I'm your host, John Olson.
And I'm your host, Jose Venutolo.
And this is the Monday edition. So happy Monday, everybody. We are joined this week by Michael Barra.
Hello.
The illustrious Michael Barra. You can find him on Twitter, at Michael Barra. Go to his website, www.michaelbarra.com. It's really hard.
Branding.
It's very hard. All of this stuff. Find him on Facebook. Like his page on Facebook. Is this a fan page?
I think it's Michael Barra, actor.
Michael Barra, actor.
Actor. Yeah.
Actor.
Just in case you didn't know. Yeah.
Actor.
Yeah.
We should probably create a Facebook page.
We should.
We've been thinking about it. Maybe it'll be up by the time this airs.
Everybody's on there.
The Facebook. Right?
Facebook.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe I'm already asking people to like too many things. I'm like it, share it, you know.
If that's, isn't that what our generation does?
Yeah.
That is exactly. I mean, it's like, you have social media, you want people to go and see it. Because the thing is that some people are good in one social media and some people are good in another. So the more that we have, the more audiences we tailor for.
Yeah. Oh, you live and die by the like.
Yeah.
Yes.
My worry is that I'm dividing the views. So it's harder and harder to really figure out how many we're getting. Yeah. So if I've got a Facebook page that's just for Dreaming in Paradox, and people are liking that, and then I post videos onto Facebook, I'll post them on that, but then I also still probably need to post them on mine.
Well,
or I just share it from the...
Well, yeah, you should post it on your YouTube or whatever platform.
Well, I always put a link to the YouTube.
And then link it. Yeah, just aggregate it. Don't repost the video because then you are...
Yeah, because it's like you just take the one and you share it around, right?
Yeah.
Nobody likes to hit the share button, I've noticed. People are very hesitant with the share button.
I'm a little selfish with the share button. If I was involved in the project or something, But, you know what?
Because it's like... You're literally endorsing it.
Right.
So I understand why people want to be careful with it, but...
I'm a bigger sharer on Twitter.
Really?
So Twitter I share everybody's...
It's all about sharing. Twitter's the one I'm still bad at. I just don't post enough.
Yeah.
And I always want to post things related to the show, but it's also just my Twitter handle.
I'm
still figuring it out. And we I throw up hashtags a lot. I don't use very many of them on the Twitter, though.
Okay.
Aside from propinquity.
Propinquity.
It's like our favorite word on the show.
It is.
Propinquity. Do you know
because
what it means?
It's what happens.
I don't know what it means.
Oh, you want to take
We had a whole episode about figuring out what it meant. It's our proximity causes... the longer you're in proximity with someone, the stronger feelings between you become.
Oh, okay.
So we generate propinquity on our show because we hang out for a while and we learn to love.
Yeah, by episode 5, the propinquity
is
going to be high.
We need to have a propinquity meter or something.
We should have a propinquity meter.
Idea.
I mean, but this is the thing. We shouldn't ourselves measure it. We should let the audience measure what.
But the propinquity measures the love, and then there's. So I don't know if that translates to the internet. Where you're not actually in proximity.
Right.
You are communicating, but this is we're in the room and the love grows.
It's true. But I guess that if people commit, if you watch consecutively, and it happens when you watch a show, when you have a favorite show, you start having an emotional connection with the characters. I mean, granted the fact that they are fictional characters, but you have an emotional connection with them, and that's why when they kill a character, you go oh my God, no, they kill Swedes on Bones, and then you don't he's not real, but you care about him.
Is that a spoiler?
It's the propinquity. It's not a spoiler. It happened a while ago.
Yeah, but you guys, I feel like you should get into the habit of just throwing out the spoiler.
That is a spoiler.
Because we talked about spoilers in our first episode, and you said I hate spoilers. So. Just consideration.
So spoiler alert, I felt the same way when Turtle lost all that weight on Entourage.
I know,
He felt like a totally different person.
Because he left Team Fat.
Yeah, he killed that for himself.
Right?
There
goes the comedy.
Out the window.
Out the window. Skinny people we just don't have it.
Never have been, never will be funny.
Right, yeah.
That's so that's so false.
We can be witty, right?
We could. We will. It's gonna happen.
There's always an exception to the rule.
It's inevitable.
I mean, this is
inevitable.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
Yeah.
Is that what the Agent Smith tells Neo? It's like this is he's holding it,
yeah.
and there's like this is the sound. Do you hear that sound? Is the sound of inevitability.
The sound of inevitability.
See,
the
you
sound
need
of
an American to say it.
You
Yes.
talked over my whole quote.
Inevitable. See.
It happens.
Michael Barra, there's something special happening today, as in the day that this airs.
Yes.
We talk about today a lot in the past tense.
Yeah.
People they're watching the past, right?
But
It's a time machine. But today we know when it's going to air.
September 21st.
Yes.
So we have, quick shout out before this shout out. Happy birthday, Nick Landa, friend of the show.
Yes.
Good
Happy
friend of ours.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
There you go.
There you go.
Michael Barra, birthday shout out.
You mentioned
So,
something.
but hold on.
Okay.
So today, Gotham Season 2 premieres, which
Yes.
you should watch because it features one Michael Barra.
Yeah.
One and only.
Playing a lazy traffic cop named Officer Franks.
Maybe they'll turn him into one of the future villains or
I'm
something.
hoping he's a
You know?
cop on a cop show. Could come back, you know.
Right.
There's a lot of traffic in Gotham, I'm sure.
A lot.
Right, and there's a
lot.
lot of good cops. You could even be lead into organized crime and become a crime boss.
I'd love it.
You should be.
Does your character have a last name?
I think Franks is his last name.
Oh, he's
It's
yeah,
Officer
Franks.
Franks.
Okay, maybe it's just like he's taking his mother's name because his father's name is like Falcone or something like that. You know,
enough,
and
yeah.
so he didn't want to. It's
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
Departed situation. right?
Yeah.
It could
I
be.
like that.
It happens.
Yeah, I think we should do.
I hope it does happen.
Yeah, I think to come back and just it'll happen slow,
Yeah.
and we'll see you again, and then it'll be like, oh, there's that Franks again.
Yeah.
He's doing something seedy this time.
I was thinking maybe when Batman Bruce Wayne gets the Batmobile for the first time, I could be directing traffic and he just zooms by and it's just a quick
Whoa.
little whoa.
He's not going to be Batman on Gotham though, right? Isn't that the whole point?
Well,
he's a kid, right?
I think it depends on how many seasons it runs.
How
you
many
know?
seasons would it take to get there?
To get, yeah.
Because he's how old? I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of Gotham.
He's a
I've
kid.
seen
He's a kid.
the
I
trailers.
mean, I would.
What are you
he's,
guessing?
I'm
12?
10, 12.
I feel like he looks like a preteen.
Yeah.
He's just about to hit
Yeah,
teens,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So he's got to be somewhere in the vicinity of 12. So Batman becomes Batman in his 20s though, right?
I figure. I guess.
They got a lot of
around
so.
He becomes an adult, then he travels the world and gets
Yeah.
training.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
then
but-
he comes back and decides that he needs to,
But it's TV, so
It's
you
true.
never know. There could be a jump, They could be
They do
like,
that. They do that.
That is kind of
know.
the problem with a show like this. This was my problem with Smallville.
Yeah.
Is that I'm like, he's Superman way before he's Superman.
Yeah.
On this show, because something needs to happen every episode,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You can't just jump a bunch of years. You could, and that would actually be ballsy. And
Yeah.
I like it when shows do stuff like that, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. Did you see this totally different show, but the Wet Hot American Summer
I've
Netflix?
started to watch it. I need to rewatch the movie.
I like that they did it. It's 10 years later.
Yeah, and they're
but
like-
they picked up it's the next summer.
Yeah.
So then they're all only one
Well,
year
it's
older.
the same summer. It's at the beginning of because the movie, Wet Hot American Summer takes place on the last day of camp. This starts at the first day of that same camp. So they're supposed to actually be
Younger.
a tad younger, and they're all a decade
days
older.
younger. I guess
And they just lean into it. I love that. It's the way you got to do it.
Watch it. I was watching it as I was falling asleep every night, and I guess I kind of missed that. I thought it was the next summer.
Oh, no, now you know. Knowing's half the battle.
It is.
Spoiler.
Not a spoiler.
Not a spoiler.
No, that's just information.
It's just
Yeah, if
information.
it's on Netflix, you can't spoil. You should have binge watched it already.
Yeah. I'm really bad at binge watching. I like to watch things over time.
Yeah.
It gives you time to process, think about it. Do I actually like it, or am I just wasting time?
It depends for me.
I will binge watch cartoons, like Archer.
Yeah.
I like to binge watch.
Archer's awesome.
It's like potato chips. You can't have just one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, like I don't know. I'm not a huge binge watcher.
Like I binge watch Orange is the New Black when it comes out. I do.
Okay. See, like that one, me and my girlfriend have been watching sort of slowly.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost done with season 3,
Okay.
so don't spoil.
Almost caught up.
Almost. We're like, I think we're 2 episodes from finishing.
Okay.
So we're close. It's a good show. You should watch it.
It is a good show.
Maybe you'll learn something. How bad it is that we privatize prisons.
And that you
Season
shouldn't-
3, that's like a big thing.
Yeah, but it also, I mean, I think a big thing with that show that people were saying is like it also doesn't necessarily, like, I don't know. It seems like it's
the
not as
prison
bad
doesn't
as
seem
it is.
so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the show. You haven't watched it?
I
I won't linger on it.
Don't worry.
The show, like, has tonal inconsistency. So, like, it kind of can't tell if it wants to be a comedy or if it wants to be a drama.
Yeah.
And it waffles. And, like, each season has been very different tonally. Like, extremely different.
Yeah.
And, like, the second season got really dark. And it felt like, oh, prison sucks.
Yeah,
In season
yeah.
2. And then I feel like the producers, whatever, saw that people thought maybe it was a little heavy. And so
Yeah.
they're like, all right, well, let's lighten it up
Yeah.
this season. But, like, so it's weird. They'll talk about, like, really heavy topics, like rape in prison, rape culture.
Yeah.
And, like, but then in the middle, you've got, like, comic relief going on with some of the other characters.
Right.
So it's odd tonally, but I like the show.
I'm a fan.
It's a good show. Acting is, like, superb across the board.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
that
if
whole
nothing
cast is
else,
great.
that cast is great. You should watch it.
I watched a
Shows that
couple-
Jose should watch.
Yeah, no, I watched a couple of episodes, but the thing is that I have a difficulty getting into serious shows. My taste whenever I have the time to watch TV, I look for comedy and I look for like dumb comedy. I don't know, like that's just my taste.
There's 2 major categories of television.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's genres, but there's serial television, there's episodic television, and I feel like people tend to like one more than the other.
Yeah.
Like, I like serials, so I like a story that grows and progresses and I can follow. But, like, some people just want to be able to tune in whenever.
Yeah.
And just, like, any episode
And be able to enjoy
doesn't
it.
matter, you can watch it. And so I think you're an episodic fan.
I mean between those two, because I do like the continuity even when episodical things. Like I
Yeah.
watch like one of my favorite shows that I'm just waiting for the new season to come. It's the Goldbergs. And it has some episodical continuity,
Yeah.
but you can also always
I do
tune
like
into
shows that
one
mix.
and
I
then-
do like shows that mix.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, did you watch the last season of South Park?
You know, I'm really far behind on South Park.
So they had the spoiler alert.
Spoiler!
They had the regular. You know how that's a very episodic show. But last season
They like doing these 3-parters lately, though, right?
well, last season for the whole season, Randy Marsh, spoiler alert, is Lord.
Yes, yes.
Throughout the
singer
whole
Lord.
season.
Through the whole season.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. I am Lord. Yeah,
What
yeah,
a-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What a
how
random
He
thing.
is Lord.
That's
great.
why that show.
Which I didn't know, by the way, it was actually.
Oh, you
A
didn't
real
know
person.
of the singer?
Yeah, I
know
didn't know
Lord?
of the singer. I have no
I
idea.
like-
I thought it
I
was
like
like
Lord.
made up singer for
She's good.
the TV show, and then my wife was like, "That is actually a real singer. They're
Yeah.
just making fun of her." And I was like, "Oh, really?
a whole new layer.
That is even
A whole
better.
new layer.
Yeah.
That is even better. Like, oh god, I can't tell you about things I've done in South Park that I feel. I don't know.
You watch all of them, right?
I watched, I watched South Park, and I watched Bob's Burger. I watched the Goldbergs. I
Love
watch
Bob's Burger.
American
I don't need
Dad.
them all. We'll be here all day.
The
But,
only
like, South
serious
Park's a
wait,
show-
the only serious show I watch that I am really like every time, it's Law and Order, like SVU. Love it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the only series
Michael Barra.
that I never.
He's been on.
I know.
He's been on it.
I
You
know.
wanna see my episodes?
Yes, I've seen your episode actually. Yes, I have.
Nice.
Yeah, South Park's a show I don't watch consistently, but I always enjoy it when I see it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like it always, it stays good.
It's so good.
It's so
Yeah.
good. Not having cable has really affected my watching habits, though.
Yeah.
It used
It
to
does.
be just like you would sort of program yourself to know, like, oh, 7 or whatever on Tuesday, I'll
Right.
turn on the TV. And, like, now just watch whenever you want to watch. If I have time, and then I never have time.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually going home. Today to watch Gotham with my parents.
Nice, watch it.
They have
watch
cable.
it live, right? Yeah, somebody's got it.
Yeah.
Might as well watch it. Watch it. Gotham season 2,
8 o'clock on Fox.
Yes.
Michael Barra,
gonna
starring Michael Barra.
# Officer Franks.
Nice.
You saw him first here, and then you're gonna see him in Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We posted
There you go.
early, so
There you go.
there's a good chance that like 8 people will have seen this before that happens, right?
Nice.
It happens.
I think we have 8 consistent watchers. Thank you,
We do. Thank you to all of them.
consistent watchers.
Family.
Yeah.
Well, I watch everything I'm in, so you'll have 9 for this.
Nice.
There you go.
And I'll remain true.
That's
There you
fantastic.
go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like us.
That's the idea. I
I
just
do like you guys.
if we can keep it going long enough, and everybody who's on just watches the show,
Yeah.
then we'll have a decent audience. Like
If
by the
you
end,
do-
we'll have 50 people.
Yeah, 52 a year. Unless you take like a week off for Christmas and
Yeah, we probably will do like a week off,
Maybe.
just
a
one.
holiday week off.
So 51
Yeah.
viewers a year.
We'll probably. I think we should do like a Christmas episode, but like the week that we have the holidays, we don't film.
Yeah, no.
And so like the first week of the year, maybe it's just like
That's correct. I mean,
we'll call it
chances
like
are
the Hangover week, and just like
the
we need
hangover week.
a week of not doing the show.
Do a clip show.
Clip show. Yeah, yeah.
You
Best
know, that's
of.
the time
Yeah.
of year for that.
That's true. It's not a
That's
bad idea.
correct.
It sounds like work.
Just tell my number.
Right?
Yeah.
The show is. It's like the simplest possible show we can come up with. It's still a lot of work.
Yes.
It's just because we're on every day. But it's worth it.
So
It's
worth
worth it.
So
It's
worth it.
for us. That's your introductory stuff. Let's see. There's a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you about in our getting to know you portion.
cool.
Monday is kind of a getting to know you.
Yes.
And then we like sometimes have a topic also. You did stand up for a time.
I did stand up for a time, yeah, and I mean, I really enjoy writing jokes and I enjoy performing, but I don't currently say
Mostly you
I'm a
act.
stand-up because, I respect
Actually,
it too
I think
much.
I went to stand up too soon. I wanted that to segue later.
Fair enough.
But
we're there now.
we're there now.
So
Yeah.
I don't say I do it or I am a stand-up now because I respect it too much, and I'm not going out multiple times a week to mics or shows. I'm not getting up on that stage multiple times a week, and I know to really be in it and doing it and honing.
Do you ever go to watch? Do you ever go to watch stand up comedy?
Yeah,
Or like,
I love
because like that's a scene I don't know how to participate in. Every now and then you walk by and you see like a comedy cellar or
Well, I
like
mean,
a
if
stand up thing,
that's
and
if
like
you're
I
gonna-
guess just you just pick them at random.
Well, if you're gonna go,
'Cause I
in
don't
my
know-
opinion, in New York, Comedy Cellar is where the best stand-up's probably going on any given day.
Okay.
There's a new club on I guess it's not as new anymore, but on 23rd and 2nd, I believe. It's called The Stand. They have really great shows there. I mean, what's cool about living in New York is you've got a bunch of really great stand-up comedians here that are performing
Yeah.
5 nights a week.
Yep,
And, one guy that I've become friendly with is Judah Friedlander, and he's he does
Yeah.
sometimes 4 or 5
He's
shows
very
a
prolific,
night,
right?
You
Yeah.
know?
And night. Wow.
Yeah, he'll do 4
go
shows a
here
night.
And just
It'll be Eastville Comedy Club, the Comedy Cellar, and the Stand, and he'll do maybe 2 shows at one of them. It's crazy, but that's a guy who is fully immersed in it and doing it, and that's why I don't say I'm doing it because it's been a while since I've been on the stand-up stage at all.
I
I'm a big
enjoy
fan.
stand up. I don't go near as much as I might like to.
Yeah,
But this thing happens to me almost every time I go to stand up. I get asked to participate by one of the people.
Oh,
And
really?
I hate it. I'm like, I just want to watch. I don't want to participate. I don't want to answer your leading questions.
you're buying 2 good seats. Then you're sitting too close. To
I'm
the
sitting too
stage.
close. I mean, usually it's a small venue.
Right.
And it's literally the furthest person is closer to
Yeah.
the camera. And I feel so it got to a point where I was dreading or go because I'm like, it's gonna happen.
There's
One of them. It's it's not everybody. A lot of stand-ups don't do it, but there's always somebody who wants to pick people out of the crowd and participate. And I just I don't want to participate. I will because I'm not gonna not gonna be a jerk about it.
On his bit,
But I don't.
That's why stand-up DVDs are great. Or so
Yeah, I watch it. I watch a lot of the specials on Netflix, like all the
Beer
Netflix
Hall
specials.
Putsch, Doug Stanhope's Beer Hall Putsch, I think is
Beer Hall Putsch. I'll have to look into it.
I think it's one of the smartest stand-up specials I've seen in a while. He has a whole bit on Occupy Wall Street. He lays out a plan of
Doug Stanhope's from version 2.0 of the Man Show, right?
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Yeah. And he had that really great episode on Louis the Road Comic, really dark episode on Louis, I think in season 2. But he has this whole bit on on Occupy Wall Street. I'm like, what they could have done to actually affect change, and it's like a really smart plan if you listen to it. And it's like,
I always said when Occupy Wall Street was going on, I was like, the problem with this is that there's no plan.
Yeah.
It's literally just people holding signs up to businessmen who are, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's one thing to protest outside of a government. Obviously, they have to pay attention to you to some extent, but they weren't asking for anything. Yeah. They were just this sucks and this is mad. And I've had this conversation with my girlfriend, and she always points out that it got this idea of the 1% into mainstream consciousness.
Right.
Yeah.
And that alone is worth something, that now people are thinking more about these issues. But as a movement, I was just it seemed kind of doomed to fail because there was no plan.
Yeah.
There was nobody was I don't know who was in charge of it, if anybody was in charge of it. And they didn't have specific demands. They didn't have any kind of specific goals. And you can't accomplish goals if you don't have goals to accomplish.
But that's not uncommon. I mean, the biggest problem with things is that it's easy to rally up. It's easy to rally up people against something, but people will easily tell you what they don't like. But when you ask them for a solution, then they have no idea. Then that's when they realize,
Solutions are hard.
oh no, there's the politician, there's
politics,
this person.
That's why politics is so hard, because
Exactly.
it's you can have 10 politicians who can all identify what's wrong, and it's can any of them identify what to do right
exactly.
or how to fix it?
Exactly. And on top of that, then you need to go.
They never want to tell you, right?
They never.
Yeah.
They never want to tell you how. This is, since we're getting into politics, we haven't really talked politics
We
yet.
haven't talked politics yet.
There's something I want to say about Bernie Sanders, who's making the rounds on social media in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, they say he doesn't get coverage on the news or whatever. And they always do ask him, every question is framed around Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
It's always, it's so you disagree with Hillary Clinton on, and how do you think of that versus Hillary Clinton?
That person, have you seen?
He has to do it over and over and
Yeah.
over again. So I like a lot of what he's saying, but I've noticed he's really good at saying what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good skill, but specifics are, even for him, it's it's kind of vague.
Yeah.
It's kind of vague.
Yeah,
and
but
it's I waffle on Bernie. I like him. I don't know if he's too much of an outlier. I don't know if he's got good specifics.
I think he does. I think some of the reason we're not hearing them all are because.
Hold on. Can we time in?
Time in.
Yeah. No, I was just saying. I feel like some of his solutions are going to be very very divisive in kind of.
Well, he's unabashedly socialist,
right,
and he's trying to change the view on socialism because other politicians have been using it like a curse word,
right,
for some time now, because they're there's communism and socialism and Nazism, right? It's always just they're all those bad things that we hate, and he's actually, most of Europe is socialist at this point. Yeah. And they're doing pretty well. Is an argument he uses a lot.
Right.
They do have smaller countries, and which
helps.
It's more those countries are similar in size to states.
Right.
And it's it is easier. That's why we're states, because it's easier to run a smaller population.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, federal's
You know,
tough. Federal government's tough.
It's not only that.
Yeah.
It's not only that. It's just like you have, like, for example, the Scandinavian countries. I've been to a couple of those in the last couple of years, and there's like 5 million people in a country. So, and they have a good economy, they have a good socialism, but also they're very homogeneous. Like, people do not tend to think too far away from each other. So then when you have 2 or 3 politicians that you need to choose from, there is not necessarily a vast difference between them, opposite to like American politics have become completely pluralized. And then either you are, I mean, the fact that you have to identify yourself as a liberal or a conservative is already saying something about the country. Like, the fact that you prefer to vote Democrat or Republican doesn't mean that you shouldn't look at the other candidate and say, like, this person has the ability to run the country.
Yeah.
But you reject him instantly because
I
of the
keep
party.
waiting for a sensible Republican candidate, and like, because I don't want to be against
Right.
Republicans in
You
general.
shouldn't be.
And I feel like there's a lot of young Republicans that are socially liberal, but like fiscally conservative. And
Right.
I'm like, okay, that's cool, because I'm very socially liberal and politically confused. That's how I like
What
to
about
say it.
fiscally?
Fiscally, also, right? I'm
Liberal?
liberal with my money.
Liberal with my buddy.
Where was I?
You were talking about fiscal conservatism.
And a sensible Republican candidate.
Yeah, so like, but like the GOP right now is just like a clown car. It's just like one ridiculous person after another. So I'm like, if you can give me someone sensible,
You don't.
who isn't saying like, even the more sensible ones, they always have something where I'm like, I completely disagree with that. You know, there's always at least one issue that I'm like, oh, really?
Trump's not sensible enough for you?
Oh, he's, you know,
He makes so much sense.
he's so great.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing. He's just like ramping up his own personal fame, right?
Yeah, he's just
He's
getting
just, like,
ready
playing-
for the spin-off Presidential Apprentice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He's like, we should elect president with a competition show.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what's
I
gonna be
believe
next.
we're
No,
not
that's
far
how-
from it.
That's, you know, I feel like,
Well, he hasn't picked a vice president yet, right? That's, I mean, a candidate.
well, they
you know,
won't until,
The primaries.
Primaries,
yeah.
right.
So if he wins the primaries, that's how he's going to do it.
I-
Apprentice-style TV show for the vice president.
I mean, we're still pretty far out, and I really don't think he's gonna.
Vice President Omarosa.
Vice President Omarosa?
Yeah.
It's better than a lot of picks you could go for, right? Like, at least she's got name recognition.
Yeah, right?
Omarosa.
I mean, Donald also is just not in the good sense.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe as a businessman.
The Apprentice
I don't
is a
know.
fun show to watch. Don't get me wrong.
I'm a big fan, especially the Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah, I've only seen like one season of Celebrity Apprentice. I stopped. That's like around the time I stopped watching it.
I think this season I'm a big Penn and Teller fan. So when
you like
yeah.
you like Teller.
yeah,
Teller's a
Penn.
little, or Penn. Penn's the talking one.
Yeah.
Okay, I always mix them up.
Penn Jillette, brah.
Yeah, Penn Jillette, he kind of grates on me
Yeah?
a little bit. Yeah,
Oh, it does.
yeah. Like
Fair
you know, he's always got an agenda. Like he's always
Yeah, I
pushing
mean
something.
he's
like-
an atheist libertarian, and that's always in the
And
forefront
it's,
of what
yeah,
he's
and it's
talking
like he's
about.
always pushing those things.
Yeah.
And like, you know, just a pusher. I'm not always a fan of. Some people like to push things, and it pushes me away a little.
Watch Gotham tonight at 8 p.m. on Fox.
Gotham.
Just pushing it a little
Yeah.
bit.
There you go.
Do it.
Hashtag Officer Franks.
Big left turn.
Yeah.
You speaking of your work in Gotham and other things, you were in something like a VR project that's going to be
Yeah.
coming out eventually. We don't have any dates or anything, right?
No dates yet. No,
But I did want to talk about it.
I'm thinking it'll be next year. I know he's talked to a couple festivals already about doing
You want to tell us a little about it?
Sure. It's a feature film called Career Opportunities in Organized Crime.
Nice.
It is a mockumentary about the Russian mafia.
Good.
And I play one of the
You play Russian?
mafiosos.
Play Russian?
Yeah. Lonya is my name.
Lonya.
You got the
And,
accent down?
Yeah, we'll watch the movie. It's
Okay, you don't want
early.
to. I won't put you on the spot.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but what's cool is it's a virtual reality movie. So you put the goggles on, you watch it that way.
But we also, because it's a mockumentary, we were also able to shoot the full movie on a Red Epic.
Nice.
And so you can watch it both traditionally or VR. And when you watch the VR...
Kind of hedging your bets. I like it. It's smart.
Yeah, yeah. And also, you know, it's the first full feature shot for VR. So you can also compare and contrast. You can watch both and, you know, see what the advantages or disadvantages are.
I mean, it's like a piece of history.
It is.
You get to be...
I like to think that.
It's a breakthrough.
Yeah.
We were talking a little before the show about how, like, everybody wants to sort of claim that everybody wants to be like, mine's the first one.
Yeah.
Well, there's...
and there's, like you said, there's a couple others.
There's two films out there right now that claim to be the first. One of them was shot traditionally and then converted in post-production to a 180 field of vision for VR. The other one is there's 90 minutes of footage, which would be a feature film, except it is a choose-your-own-adventure.
Gotcha.
So you really only watch about half an hour of the footage in one continuous. So
it's kind of cheap.
I think we can lay claim to it. The fact that we've been published in like 250, 300 tech publications as the first feature.
Okay,
so
good.
I feel like somebody would have called bullshit on that.
We need to get it into Wikipedia if it's not there already.
For sure.
Get it there. And then like reference one of those 200 things, and then
it
official.
It was just on Fox News in the Baltimore, because we shot in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
So it was a great experience. The director is like a genius. He's an MD who is also a mathematician, and now he's in law school because he got bored and wanted another
just hate those
degree.
people.
Yeah.
Like he literally, he's the smartest person I've probably met.
Is it James Franco?
No, his name is Alexander Oshmayansky, which I'm probably butchering your last name, but Oshmayansky.
I'm pretty sure it's exactly that.
Oshmayansky.
Do we?
God bless
do we
you.
need the time?
Yeah, we do. Like I mean, we're like another 10 minutes maybe.
Okay.
No, but I started a little late, so
I was wondering if we had time for the topic.
The topic,
or if we should just keep going with.
I'm fine with whatever.
We're having fun.
Like
I did want to mention something else that we were talking about. Our good friend Otto. I don't know if he's our good friend. Our former teacher Otto, friend.
Call it friend.
We're gonna call him a friend of the show now. We're gonna give him another shout out. He has a chain of restaurants here in New York.
Yes.
He just opened his third, called Otto's Tacos. Otto, you got to watch the show now because we're giving you free shout outs.
I mean, come on.
Episode 1, 2, you said, right?
Episode 1 we gave him a shout out.
Yeah.
So this is a small world kind of story. Michael Barra works at Otto's Tacos.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's why I recognize when you yes.
Yeah, so
now
much like
completely separate from any connections that we have to Otto. We now have another connection to Otto.
Yeah, I mean, much like most actors in the city, you need you got a survival job,
diversify.
So I believe I can lay claim to being the current longest employee of Otto's Tacos.
There you go.
It's pretty good.
There you go.
I've been there since 3 days before location 1 opened. What's awesome though, because I'm sure you talked about how he was. You just brought it up. He was one of your teachers.
Yeah.
Because he comes from that background, he lets me I've taken off 4 different months at a time to go leave and for a month and a half and do a feature and then come back. He's like,
that's
dude,
pretty good.
It's an ultra low budget feature. I know you need a job when you're done. Come back. You always have one, so it's nice. Yeah.
It's a nice.
Otto's a cool dude. You should eat some of his tacos.
They are delicious. I highly recommend the carnitas. They're a pork, slow braised in beer and citrus and pulled.
Having had breakfast.
I'm so used to, people ask, what are the masa fries? Well, they're a corn French fry made from the same dough as the tortillas, and they come with a delicious chipotle aioli.
Oh,
that's
a nice. That's got a nice ring to it. The chipotle
aioli.
I'm so hungry right now. I haven't had breakfast.
Well, he opened a new location on 49th.
There you go,
dude. How many plugs?
There you go.
I know he needs to sponsor the show.
Right.
I know more. That's enough for free. Until the next time we have a reason to bring it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, at least
One of these days, what we should do is like get Otto here or get some of his tacos, and then
Well,
just
we
eat
should
them
get
on the
him
show.
on the show, and then he could
With
bring.
tacos.
Yes.
He could bring us some tacos.
That way, they will be for free.
Nobody ever brings us. Nothing. What's better than tacos? Free tacos.
Free tacos.
This was something that occurred to me. Do you do an impression of the Kool-Aid guy? I feel like you must do a great one. Just the oh yeah. Your tonal quality is.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I feel like it's also like the oh yeah, it's also like Macho Man Randy Savage,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
That is a little more Randy.
That's Randy Savage. See, my favorite Kool-Aid
It's actually
man,
milder. The Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
It's a little milder than Randy.
I like. Do you watch The Office at all? The American Office.
Yeah.
I like Kevin on there. Does a great impression. He's like, I kind of know what it's like to be in commercials. In high school, they used to call me Kool-Aid Man. And then he just does this face that I can't replicate, the face where he's just like... And it's hilarious. Yeah.
All right, that's...
But no, I mean, no, my... because of the tonal quality of the voice, I would say Harvey Fierstein is my, like, go-to impression with, like... Oh, Tracy, it's been years since someone asked me to dance. You know, like, from Hairspray.
Nice.
You know, that's the go-to.
That's the go-to.
Yeah.
It occurred to me, I was like, oh yeah, I could picture it.
Yeah.
Cannabis.
I'll work on that.
Got a little, because it's deep and a little gravelly, and
Yeah.
the Kool-Aid guy was a little gravelly.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, but this is something like, you know, like I know Kool-Aid because like we had
You don't
it in
know the
Venezuela,
commercials?
but the commercial was
would
in
bust
Spanish.
through the wall?
Yeah, I know, but it was in Spanish. I don't like
And it was a
what
different
you're
voice
yeah,
actor.
exactly.
Yeah,
like what
always.
you're talking about is like I probably have seen it,
Yeah.
but it's
What
not.
does he say
it's
in
not,
Spanish?
I don't even remember,
You
but
can't
it's
do the
I think it's
You're
sí,
killing
you know, but it's like it's probably
Every
the
time I
direct
ask you
translation
for
it.
like a specific detail about the
Like
stuff
you-
in Spanish, you're always like, I don't know.
But this is the thing. I mean, you need to remember that if you ask me about like 1960s TV in America, because that's the only thing that my country could afford back then when I was a kid. So I grew up watching like the monsters, you know, like
Yeah.
I Dream of Jeannie. Like you know,
Dude,
I
me
grew up
too.
watching. I
Nick
grew
at
up watching
Night,
what
bro.
your parents grew up watching. You know, like I like.
We've seen a lot of those shows.
Happy Days, I Dream of Jeannie, The
Yeah.
Monsters, those were all my
Bewitched.
favorites.
Oh wow.
You know, like
Yeah.
the Addams Family. Like I had a good run of those. Like
I actually got a really cool email from a Mexican voice actor who, when my episode of SVU, I did a couple of those, but the one episode 11, season 11, episode 13, it's called Lost Traveler. I'm guest star on that. And I got an email from the Mexican voice actor who actually voiced my role.
that's awesome.
When they did it,
that's
and
fun.
he was like, "Thanks for creating such a heartfelt role," and it was really
me
nice.
some work.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And he sent me the episode. I was like, "Well, please send me a link to the episode so I can see your work." And
That's awesome.
It was really cool. Yeah,
That's great.
Nice.
That's great. You know, that happens a lot. Like I used to watch. I think it was Justice League, like the cartoon back in the 70s. And
Super Friends?
there was Super Friends. I'm sorry. Yes, exactly.
But
Super
Justice
Friends.
League is more.
It's recent.
It's
Recent,
recent, yeah,
yeah.
but it was the Super Friends, and there's the voice of the computer, who is like every kid in Latin America will recognize this voice. And then I saw it in video games and stuff. But then when I came to America, then I saw the show, and it's difficult to connect. Eventually, you get you change the voices, but it happened.
Yeah.
It happened to me with The Simpsons. Like the way that Marge Simpson speaks in Spanish is completely different to the way that like she doesn't have a raspy voice.
Oh,
It's
really?
it's a complete different take from it. And I actually watch it also in Italian, and it's a complete different take.
That drives me crazy though. Like when I see a foreign show. So this mostly happens with like anime.
Yes.
There's a few animes I've watched with subtitles, and then I'll see them
Dubbed.
I'll see them dubbed, and the voice is just like way different, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, that's
I
not that
can't
character.
Yeah,
accept it. Yeah, I'm like, I've already
difficult to
learned it
relate.
as this one, and sometimes they are close, and sometimes they're like a version of it, and it's like, yeah, it's a weird thing.
It
It's
is.
like
Yeah.
I get it. Like if it's the first way you see it, then it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, that's how you process that. And I guess different countries deserve to just have it their own way.
Yeah, of
but
course.
also it kind of bugs me
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
if
It
you
does.
watch the original and then you do it, it's like, what is this?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite like voice performances, and it's over 2 different shows because I kind of got to grow up with it. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, my favorite voice actor currently is Billy West.
the
Who
best.
I mean,
He's the best.
I was gonna say you can't. It's
Futurama is one of
redundant
my
saying,
favorites.
but
It's
so
like my
I
favorite
love-
cartoon.
I love that he was Doug on Doug back in the day, and now Fry on Futurama, as well as 90% of that cast. But if you listen to Fry, he really just sounds like Doug 10 years later. You know,
Yeah.
like he is like a
Fry is
grown-up
pretty
version of
close
Doug.
to, I feel like,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
pretty
Billy
close
West,
to
like,
how it's
talks in
actually
his
sounds.
nose, kind of like, you know, he's very like.
Yeah.
I feel like the Honey Nut Cheerios bee is one of his
Yeah.
closest.
Yeah, he does some that are like impersonations, but like Fry and Doug are pretty close to
Well,
just
if you
how he
look at,
talks.
I mean, on Futurama, like, yeah, the Professor and Zoidberg. I mean, those are.
Zoidberg, yes.
Zap Brannigan.
Yeah,
The Zap.
I feel like his commercial
name's
roles,
Baloo.
like the Red M&M, the Honey Nut Cheerios
Yeah,
beat,
yeah.
those are all like his real voice, or
It's true.
close to it.
The Red M&M's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like voice actors. I found that like at a young age, I would just recognize the same actor in different cartoons.
Yeah, correct.
And like
That happens a
I
lot.
could hear him, and so then I started kind of paying attention.
Yeah.
A little bit. Billy West he's one of the best.
And I mean, he's taken over Mel Blanc's roles.
Yeah, 'cause he
for,
does Bugs
Looney
Bunny.
Tunes. And he does, I mean, Elmer Fudd wasn't Mel Blanc, but he does that role. He does Elmer as well. Yeah. He's awesome. I
These
like
people-
voice
these
I'm
acting.
people
glad
never
you
look-
brought up Billy West.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
great.
These people never look how they sound. Like you have a mental picture of you
It's
hear
weird
them,
knowing what he
and
looks
then
like
you go
now,
like,
actually.
wow.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, I just pictured him as Fry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Fry in a booth doing the other voices.
Yeah.
But now I know what he looks like. So the magic's gone.
The magic.
It's
is
not, though. He's
gone.
still great.
I mean, I don't
They
feel
do
like
this
he
thing-
has a huge disconnect.
They do
with
this
his
thing.
look
I'll
and
put a
voice.
link to it in the notes. It's they did it at like some con. I don't think it was Comic-Con. It was another con, and they did. It was Billy West and Joe DiMaggio was
yeah.
there, and like also the guy who does the Animaniacs. He does like he does Pinky from Pinky and the Brain, which he did with Billy West, who did
Yeah,
Brain.
yeah.
There's a bunch of them. The girl who does Bubbles, who does a whole bunch. She also does My Little Pony. God, I'm
I know,
terrible with
I'm
names right
blanking
now.
on these names too.
But anyway, they got a bunch of like the cartoon voice actors, and they read Star Wars transcript. They read the transcript for Star Wars, and scene by scene they'll change the characters that they're doing.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be like one they did like Bubbles as Darth Vader, and you know it's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So those are great. I highly recommend them. I'll
Yeah.
put the link. Free little extra fun. They're long like our show. It's like
fun,
an hour.
like-
Yeah.
But it's hilarious because you listen to it and it's like you just picture cartoon characters doing Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, in Venezuela, when I was growing up, we had a lot of we have a lot of animes too, and most of them were dubbed in Argentina. So you will watch it, and
They've got the accent.
it will have the accent, and then eventually, some of the dubbing companies moved to. So most of the dubbing that happens in Latin America happens either in Argentina, in Mexico, or in the 80s in Venezuela. And there was this guy in Venezuela that he is one of the few established rock bands in Venezuela, and his name carries the Venezuelan rock. And he was the voice of Buster Bunny. He was the voice of Pinky in Pinky and the Brain. Like it's great. Like this is a hardcore like heavy metal kind of guy. And then on the side he would be like, what we're gonna do tonight, Pinky? Like it's like it's crazy. And then when you figure it out, you go like, it's a complete disconnection. But it's awesome that these people have that range of voice. And then like you always find it interesting. But you should watch.
I guess it makes sense.
You should watch
like a
some, like,
singer
Spanish.
versus like they're both vocal.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's vocal work. It's vocal work. At the end of the day, it
That's-
makes sense in that sense.
And you've done some voiceover, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most well-known thing I did was a Snickers commercial. I think it ran during the Super Bowl in 2010, maybe. It was a bunch of shark. It was for Snickers Peanut Butter Squared. It's a bunch of sharks who had eaten people who had eaten candy bars, and it was like a taste test.
Makes sense.
Okay.
And it ran for like a year and a half. My big line was, "Oh, Steve was delicious." As a shark, you know.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean that's definitely the big. It was number 10 on the 10 best commercials of the year.
Oh, nice.
It was.
So far,
I'm hoping to do more. You know.
Yeah.
I would love to get into some animation and stuff. I'm working with a great VO agent now, Innovative Artists Agency. So, you know, they're sending me out a bunch. Hopefully, we get some more bites.
Yeah, right.
I hate to do this, but we do need to start wrapping it up.
We're gonna wrap?
Yeah, we're getting into the
That's
threshold.
fun. Yeah, we had some good stuff today.
Yeah.
Any last minute things? So, I'll kill my backup topic. Usually, I feel like usually we need it, but not today. I mean, we're still figuring it out. Is the thing. Every week we figure out a little more, and like,
But you know,
we're kind of just starting with the topic. But I like a warm
But
up.
I thought you were going to ask him because, you know, like you mentioned a couple of times when we were talking about what we were going to talk about you, that you are responsible in the new, in
that's
the
what I was
news.
just gonna bring up.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, because you know exactly what.
That Michael Barra is somewhat responsible for Spider-Man
You are.
and for Ben's death.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for Spider-Man not being able to.
Yeah.
So like the tragic element of Spider-Man, you did that.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Webb did walk up to me on set and be like, "If you were just a nicer person, you know, Uncle Ben would be alive and Spider-Man would."
he'd be alive.
But you also, I was gonna make. I did have
So
an
for
idea.
those
Watch
that
it.
don't know, Michael
Watch
Barra
it.
is in The Amazing Spider-Man.
The reboot.
Yeah.
It was the reboot.
The
Yeah,
first
it's the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield, by the way, a great Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I'm sad
I
to see
thought
him
he
go.
was really great.
I'm sad to see him go.
And he was also, I mean, my limited interaction with him on set, he was a great guy too. Like, I had a really nice conversation with him. He was
Nice.
super down to earth and really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have a little scene if you haven't seen it. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Where Spider-Man's trying to buy him milk,
Yeah.
and he's a couple pennies short. He tries to use the take a penny, leave a penny train.
I saw that scene randomly a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was just like on. I was somewhere. I wasn't at home. I was somewhere where somebody had killed and it was just on.
Yeah.
And I happened to see your scene. And I was really like, wow, you really are a jerk to him.
Yeah,
You're like,
well, a couple of those lines are improvs. That
Yeah.
they said to me, they were like, "Okay, we got the scene. Now just be a complete asshole." And so that's why I added in, "What, your mommy and daddy not give you enough milk money today?" You know, like those are a couple just little things we added in.
like, he tries to use a very legitimate thing of
Take
like
a
to take a
leave
penny.
train.
Yeah,
You try to
and
take 2 pennies.
And you know, you
And
can
I
take
say
two.
you
take
you
two.
don't you got to spend $10 to take a penny.
take a
That's
penny.
what I tell 'em.
I know. I was like, wow, that is a
Yeah.
dick move.
I think the thing that I liked most about, well, not.
So that just said, be nice to people because you never know who might die
Yeah, they might
as
kill
a
your
result
uncle.
And become Spider-Man.
of you being.
But if Ben didn't die, Spider-Man might be a complete asshole.
True.
It's true.
You know, he would never have learned
Or he
that
might have just
great
given it up.
responsibility.
He might have just been like, being responsible means going to school and just making the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one scientific idea at a time. So he might have just abandoned Spider-Man altogether.
I think
Because
he
Uncle
would have
Ben would have
just used
been
his
like,
powers to jerk off, you know, to
Yeah,
just
just-
do whatever.
just yeah,
He would
not
have
be a
just
super,
enjoyed his powers.
not be a
Probably
superhero,
reality.
but like
Not necessarily super
like how there's that
either,
skateboarding
but
montage. He just
Yeah.
would have done more of that.
yeah, he would have just skateboarded. He would have been,
Just-
yeah.
He'd be like, I'm going pro.
Yeah.
Nobody can beat me. I literally have the best agility on the
Yeah,
planet.
watch out, Tony Hawk.
Right?
Here
You'd
I
just be
come.
doing like, you know,
Peter
8,000
Parker.
degree
Yeah.
spins or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
but
had to bring up Spider-Man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like
Well,
a for a
check out
moment.
check out the I think it's called 8-bit movies or whatever, or 8-bit movies.
8-bit
I think.
movies? Oh, it's
like a YouTube
made
thing.
like video games, like
they take,
8-bit?
yeah.
Oh,
so they
that's
take
awesome.
movies and they break them down into 5-minute movies that are 8-bit, and my scene
awesome.
made
It
the
made it. It
8-bit
did.
and
Oh,
they
that's
did they did
awesome.
an animation of me where it almost looks like a Simpson character. It's really great.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
happy with that.
That's
So you have a
awesome. We'll
cartoon.
check it out.
Oh, man,
I'm
you're
also
living-
they
you're living the dream. You know, you got a
they
cartoon.
animated me in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game. My characters at the beginning as well. They didn't
that.
use my voice. Probably went non-union,
Right? Figures.
but it was a great experience. Loved working on that. Mark Webb's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that your continuity's been erased, so you're no longer responsible for Spider-Man.
You know, I mean,
Going
they
into
haven't
the-
filmed the new one yet.
That's true.
Avi,
Mm-hmm.
I know you liked
Marvel.
the really line, so
Yes.
yeah. No, I had Avi Arad, who former
who
CEO
produces
of
them.
Marvel. He's still producing all those. I had an improv where I came up and the register was robbed, and I just went, really? And that was his favorite.
He loved it?
He loved it. He was like, I used that at a fast food place today. Somebody left a messy table. I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, really? They came back and cleaned it up. And I was like, nice.
You've never heard of using that before?
Yeah,
I
I
gotta love
guess
that.
not. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We'll wrap it up. Come back tomorrow. We'll have a game for you
Yes.
tomorrow.
Very interesting game. Gonna love
Hopefully it'll be a good one.
It will be a good one.
Take care of yourselves. Like the show if you like it.
Subscribe.
Share it. If you like us, share it. Because sharing is caring.
Exactly.
Follow us, subscribe. You should subscribe also.
I will.
I've been forgetting to mention that you can also find us on iTunes.
Correct.
We're on iTunes and RSS, so if you just want to listen, it's a good listen, I think.
It is.
We have a small visual element, but you can always come give us hits on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, you still get 95% of the show by just listening to us. Like
Yeah.
the visual element, yeah, for you,
You
too.
just miss out on this.
You miss out on the sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe now they can just envision you how they want if they're just listening.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
So
true.
I'm still trying to like wrestle the analytics from iTunes. They really make it a runaround to get information from iTunes. Like I just want to see like how many people have subscribed on that, and like they make it so hard. So subscribe on YouTube if you're subscribing on iTunes, just because it helps us out. We want to get to 500 subscribers.
We need 500
We're
subscribers.
still begging for
It's
500.
the first milestone.
So-
You looking at the camera?
Yeah, I was looking at the camera.
Ah, good, because I keep looking at the monitor.
Don't look at the monitor.
I know.
Don't look at yourself. You're so vain.
Ah, it's so.
All right. Have a good Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You are.
Oh
and-
yeah, it's,
Yes.
follow me on Twitter. I'm at John in Paradox.
And I am at Jose in Paradox.
This is at Michael Barra.
Yep.
Not in
Not in Paradox,
Not
but
in
right
Paradox.
now.
Right now I'm here. But just at Michael Barra.
All right. Until next time. Take it easy.
Take care.